My name is Christian Basel. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Another great episode. Today we're going to be talking about the best of the worst monsters. And I did see you, KEVO, dancing to that music. I do love it there. Yep, we voted, and today's the day. This has just been an incredible day for Floridians in general. But let me go ahead and bring on team one at a time. Let me go ahead. Oh, hang on one second. Having technical difficulties. So let me go ahead and bring on our team. Let's go ahead and get things started. Start off with the lovely Mr. Dave Chapman. How you doing there, Dave?
Hey.
Sorry.
Hey, first you gotta start with me when I'm not looking.
Exactly. That's where I go to. I'm just going down the line, actually. Hey, Matt, how you doing there? Good evening. Welcome there. Yeah, today in Florida, two big things are going on at the same time. First of all, we're doing our elections. As you see, the Traveling TARDIS voted. And second one, well, right now I got a little rainstorm coming up the pipe outside my door, and it's supposed to be swinging around Florida to where Melanie and Mark are, and then supposedly heading back my way. So, yeah, Hurricane Nicole is going to be coming by. And tomorrow we may have a special episode of The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS about a Who Knew News with Bob Pickering, the gentleman who does the weather report, cosplaying as one of the doctors. So that might be something that might be happening tomorrow. So just keep an eye on that, give you an update on what's going on with Hurricane Nicole. Speaking of which, how you doing there, Dave? Thanks again. Now he's ready.
Yeah, more or less. No, things are good. Things are good. I'm back in my regular space. I might actually be back in here more often in the coming year, but we're gonna see how that goes. Okay. But it is almost the holiday season. We got some big stuff here on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
That's right, Dave. Go ahead. You take it. You explain.
We've got my special edition game about games next week, where I will be talking about some of these wonderful things behind me. Mm-hmm. And then the week after that, we've got our foodie episode for Thanksgiving. Right. And I'm going to be pulling out several things, but one of the things is a recipe that comes from this role-playing game.
Oh, God. Cool.
Heaven forbid I should even do an episode where I'm not doing a gaming thing when it has absolutely nothing to do with gaming. But Tea Time Adventures is a cozy role-playing game that actually has recipes in it. And so, yes, I have to do one of those.
I'm excited with what the team's going to be bringing up over here. And we may have a special guest during that foodie episode. So that's going to be next week. Dave's going to be taking the helm, and he's going to be talking about Doctor Who games. And the following week, we're going to have a foodie special with hopefully a very special guest coming in the thing. And as Dave mentions, Thanksgiving, the last Thursday of the month, as he mentions it. So
American Thanksgiving will, whereas the rest of us the rest of the world call it Thursday.
Gotcha. Speaking of Thursday, which has no bearing to anything. Hello, Mackenzie Floor. How you doing there?
What does Thursday have to do with anything?
You know what?
That's what the rest of the world asks about your guys' Thanksgiving.
That's true. Yes.
And yet you're hosting our Thanksgiving. What the heck?
What's that?
I said, and yet he's hosting our Thanksgiving and is just constantly crapping on it. So
I mean, American Thanksgiving is the anniversary of the Rat Hole. The rathole.ca launched 5 years ago on Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. So I can make that joke absolutely every year.
Okay, well now I get it. Makes more sense now. There's some context behind it.
Well, happy anniversary to the rathole.ca in there. Hello, Andrew. Thank you. And don't forget to say hi in the chats there, folks. Help our algorithm. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you're thinking out here. You can go ahead and start putting in your best of the worst monsters now, because we're going to go through ours and we're going to go through yours there. Dave, is your new Doctor Who RPG book on the shelf?
It is.
Mark Robinson.
It's right there. That's the second edition. Now, there's 2 new games. There is the second edition of the Doctor Who role-playing game. There is Doctors and Daleks, and I also know that's not what he's talking about. Because while I was over in the UK, I actually ended up buying this copy of Matt Smith in the pounds. I'm leaving the sticker on just so I remember that it was a souvenir. But these are no longer in print, and this is something I was going to talk about next week.
Wow!
These this first edition Doctors are no longer in print, and so I actually went through, and as soon as I found that out, and ordered a bunch of them, and you can kind of see that they fit that logo.
Right.
I'm missing one. I'm missing Tenet.
Ooh.
That one is extra hard to find. Yeah. So
maybe they'll re-release it as 14.
Not in this format. That's the problem. I am very certain, because it is mentioned in both Doctors and Daleks and second edition, that these source books exist, but they will not do it in the same format. This was the 50th anniversary special. It won't have this matching spines. So I have to find the first edition version of it just to complete that logo. Matt Smith is the end. He doesn't actually have part of the logo, but the end of the logo is Tenet.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool, here's the lovely Melanie Dean. Hello, Melanie. You're riding out the storm with me. It's not that bad.
It's still a tropical storm. It hasn't even hit a hurricane. If it hits hurricane, it's a 1.
I don't want to get that stigma. Everybody says that, we don't take hurricanes and tropical storms and storms seriously. So I'm trying to break up that stigma there. Everybody sees Florida Man and they think that we go outside without our shirts on with our beer hats.
Well, no, but here's the thing: is that we just had Ian. We should still have all of our hurricane preparedness kind of stuff already done. At the beginning of the season, you should always be ready and prepared. Personally, I don't board up my stuff for one. I don't think I need a shutter. But that's just me. And that's because it's coming across the state. Usually, for the past couple of years, a lot of the hurricanes that were coming towards my neck of the woods was coming from the Gulf, right? Like in the case of Ian, it was supposed to come right and hit us. Right. So I didn't have the state to kind of, cool it down and drop the wind and the rain and all that. Instead, it's going to go to Christian, hit me, and go right back to me. Enjoy the rain.
Getting the leftovers out there.
But hopefully no down trees, no branches, stuff like that. So hopefully it's your power. May everybody in the state of Florida, your power stay on, and that you weather the storm nice and nice. Exactly. And go vote. Make sure you're voting. If you're watching this, hopefully you're watching it from your phone. You can watch it. You can listen to us from your phone as you're in the polling place. You've got till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, most places. And if you're in line, stay in line. You can still vote.
Gotcha.
Vote.
Speaking of somebody you can listen to on your phone, we got the lovely KEVO Reese. Husband's talking more or less there. How you doing there, KEVO?
Good. I like that. I'm good with that intro. Somebody you can listen to on your phone. That works for me. I'm rocking my Dalek t-shirt today. It's word art, so it's all made out of, exterminate. It's got little ones that say gun on the thing. Yeah. I'm ready for this.
And I do have to add, I'm not trying to cover you up, but you got to see these lovely thumbnails that KEVO does for us every single week, and just like in a timely fashion. I'll just say, this is the episode, and he comes up with something like this. Oh, wait. Oh, hi. Sorry. No. Summer doesn't like the rain.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. So she's in the room with me, and she, as soon as I close the door, she goes, "Are you? Do you want to stay in there alone?" I'm just like, okay.
You don't want company?
No, she's
maybe a little
here.
She's
right here. Wait. Let me see if I can. This is gonna be odd. Let's see here. Here she is. There
Nope.
she is.
No,
in
it's just
darkness.
Just
all
black.
darkness.
Yeah, I know. She's really nervous. I mean, she does like. Yeah, it's darkness, so you can probably see her. There you go.
A little bit, yeah.
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 Yeah, she's very, very nervous today because it's rain, and she really hates the boom booms. Oh, she hates the boom booms down there. Speaking of boom booms, let's round up the panels with, well, the Reverend Amagon on Facebook. There you go. No, you're still muted, my friend.
Well, hello there.
Which would make for an interesting show.
It's your boy.
The hashtag guru himself, the Reverend Amagon, Tom Kosak. And wow, where did that come from? That's cool.
Yeah, the bookstore didn't have it, but I had to get this issue because my cousin Richard Peake is in here.
Nice.
He got Where's the camera? There's the camera. He's in here. That dude with the beard.
Really?
Very cool.
That is cool.
So I talk about him.
Cute.
So whenever I download Zoom, he and I will do a talk show.
Alrighty. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this party started, folks. This is how we're going to roll. Everybody has picked a monster. Of course, the Wheel of Names is back.
Yeah,
so we're going to decide who's going to be going first.
Love
you
your
can feel the
wheel.
excitement in the room out there. So, yes, without further ado, we're going to spin that reel. That's a reel.
The real wheel.
The real wheel. Oh, my God.
The real deal with Kristen's wheel.
She's doing it again. She's doing it again. All right. I don't know. My computer has not recovered since I played that game this past weekend with Mackenzie.
You start saying she's doing it again. I'm like, are what?
For whatever
You need
reason,
Just to be clear,
Please
you
be more
did get the
specific on
game
your
from the
pronoun.
right. You did get the right game from the right website. You didn't do it from like Napster or LimeWire or something, right?
No,
Not his computer. now
Terrible
has
joke
an
for all the old
STD.
people watching.
no, not that. Shush you. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Even my poster didn't like that. It fell, so it didn't like that at all.
It committed suicide based
Yeah.
on that joke. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness! Really? All right,
Oh,
baby, calm down.
Christian.
Calm down. I'll tell you what. I'm going to spin the wheel, and wherever it lands.
Are you?
Yeah. There it is.
Oh, there it
is. I'll tell you what, just to be interesting to our folks. Come on, baby. Spin. Really? You're just not going to do it, really.
All right.
This has been this has been all the technical difficulty. I've like narrowed everything down. I would like
Find the storm.
I wonder if that's a Wi-Fi just going
Old school LimeWire. Kazaa. I completely forgot about Kazaa.
I always
Kazaa and LimeWire.
Yes.
All right.
LimeWire
Here we
can
go.
do everything.
Pretty Christmas die.
So,
Nice metal one.
So Christian, you gonna push that
Four.
button, or
I pushed this button like 4
One,
times and it's not doing
two,
anything.
three,
It's
four.
just
Okay,
Dave,
so-
Push the
go.
button, Frank.
I guess it's just Dave's turn.
Yeah, we'll just
My
do it that way.
die rolled KEVO.
No, well, it says Dave on
Oh,
that
Of
screen.
course
So.
it
Oh.
did.
Okay. I'm fine. Whatever.
That's what
I'll go
that's what
first.
Mackenzie said, Dave.
So Dave,
Watch
without
this
further ado, there you go. What monster did you pick? Of
The
the
worst, most
not
destructive
the best
monster
of the
in
worst.
all of Who history, Chris Chibnall.
Are you for real?
No.
Then he took a drink.
I'm sorry.
Funniest man on the planet.
It's going to come up eventually, so let's just make the joke now. So, no. In reality, I picked the Candyman.
There you go.
I
was prepared for
Candyman to
that.
come up.
Mark Robinson?
I was for Rob.
Not,
I was
there,
ready.
There we go. That's the right one.
Okay.
That Candyman.
I
How
almost
could
put
you
him on the
not-
episode image.
As he deserves to be. Look at how terrible this monster is and how wonderful this monster is. He has such a rich
like him.
backstory in there. Like
He looks like he has
really,
blueberries.
Andrew.
It
Right.
does. He
It's
doesn't
'cause
really
it's
look
full of
that
all
edible.
sorts.
No.
I could go out
Yeah.
and buy all of those components right now, as could Mark. and do that. No, that's not nice.
Now, for those of you not familiar, the Candyman is actually in the Seventh Doctor story, the Happiness Patrol.
Happiness Patrol.
And it's supposed to be an evil robot that's completely made of candy.
Is that a mustache?
I think that's supposed to be
the illusion of a mustache.
It's an overgrown mustache.
But then no
what it
hair.
would look like in
like
CG.
Pringles guy.
Could you imagine what the CGI would look like today?
So basically, it's all it's a monster made of like all sorts or all those other licorice kind of candies.
Andrew's got a really good question here, and
I'll get it up.
I'll bring it up. I do not know the legal issues. I can guess what some of them are, as there is the American,
I'm getting a lot of
size of the Candyman.
I'm getting a lot of like feedback. Hang on a second.
Okay. How about now? Is it me?
No, it's not you.
Keep talking, Dave.
Okay, I'll just keep talking. That's right. I'm just gonna pop into my audio settings here, make sure that something didn't just flip out and change. There we go. Okay, good. Yes. Well, I'm all good. I mean, I do have an earpiece in, so. Anyways, no, I do not, in fact, know the legal issues about the villain. I would love to, so feel free to link it or show it or whatever you wish. But it is definitely. Oh no, Carl, no. Happiness Patrol is so painfully 80s and terrible and wonderful and great political satire.
It's different.
When people say, "Oh, I don't want politics in my TV. I just want to be entertained." Hey, jackass, this is no. You clearly don't know what you're doing.
Watch the language. You already hit me once with the.
You're right. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. I am.
Wow.
You need a cup of tea. You need a nice cup of chamomile.
I think when they exactly. I think when they were talking about like politics and stuff like that, they're talking about like they don't like arachnids in the UK. They actually named the person and they made a parody of the person for the person. I think people who watch it, like for myself, when I saw the Happiness Patrol, it was like I didn't know any better. I didn't know that this was a political thing.
Yeah,
and it to me it was a very good story. I mean, it was an interesting take. It was just weirdly executed. But the scene where he's standing there with the guard, he goes, where he just hypnotizes the guard and just like screws with him. He goes like, are you going to end my life, or however he gets it. So I thought there were some really good moments from it, and the Candyman was kind of like. Okay.
Weird. I honestly,
that's a thing.
The Candyman as a character has a wonderful, backstory that's alluded to.
Exactly, Andrew.
He's got a wonderful personality. If he wasn't such a weird creature and villain, you could easily see him coming back. Like he's got a proper personality that could handle coming back. But as part of that specific story, it was very, very weird. And that costume is very, very weird. Hence why he is definitely one of the best of the worst.
There's nothing edible about that. I would actually like challenge anybody to make that like a Thanksgiving Day piece with actual candy.
Ooh, yeah.
Definitely a deep cut for a cosplay.
And you're not talking about this guy, right?
No, not talking about that guy.
We love Mark.
No, not
our Candyman.
Yeah, our Candyman. We did. Oh shoot! I didn't put those videos together. It's been a heck of a time. So I do have some extra videos that I'll put together from my time with Mark. We went running around doing some surprisingly not Who things, but apparently Melanie's next.
Next.
I guess that was the one that was going to spin. It's me. Well, good. That works out.
But when we return, we got a commercial break. When we do, I can do that. I can do that because I can. We're going to get to Melanie's Choice when we return. Please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, become part of the legend. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be right back. I am getting rid of that damn wheel. It borks everything up that I do. All right, here we go.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night, and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live, and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night, we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you, the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
Meet the Doctor. Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
I'm getting rid of that wheel. Anyway, welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basel. This is the best of the best of the worst of monsters. Dave already gave his as the Candyman. Melnie's up next. And Melnie, what did you pick as your worst monster of Doctor Who?
So I went with an episode that I really do enjoy. It's Terror of the Zygons. So it's a fourth Doctor episode. I figure let's go deep cut and let's not just go right to the Absorbal off, because that's always my number one. I went with the Loch Ness Monster inside the Terror of the Zygons episode 2. Because it wasn't real. Okay, so first of all, I'm not dissing. I'm not gonna diss the monster itself. I'm not gonna diss the effects. That's fine. If you watch the whole scene where the fourth Doctor is running, he actually is doing really well. I mean, that tells you how great Tom Baker is in running. The whoever was doing the director of photography, the DP role, all the camera work really well too, to try playing off this thing's kind of lumbering behind him, kind of the way they shot it.
1970s. So
yeah, so I mean, it's not bad for what it is. I mean, I'm good with. It's the fact that if someone's gonna pitch to me, we're gonna put the Loch Ness Monster in as like a villain, and it's not really the main villain. I mean, the Zygons are the villain, but they toss in the Loch Ness Monster. They make it so that it's not really any what the Loch Ness Monster is. It's called a scarison, which the Zygons apparently put an embryo or a little monster in one of the lakes, eons ago, and it's slowly grown, and then they made it a cyborg so that way they can control it, and that they were going to do this and this and this. I was just like, really? That's what no, because I mean, for me, if you're gonna finally do something Doctor Who-y with a cryptid, with the Loch Ness Monster, that's what you did, and it was literally like not even the second squad monster of the episode. It was like, we're gonna afterthought this. I'm going, it was just such a waste and a poor execution of writing of what they could have done with this. Not again. I'm absolutely not making fun of the way that thing looks like just a toy that just is like, rah, and the Doctor's running.
They did their best,
but it was a waste. It's like, why would you? Yeah. If you have the Loch Ness Monster, do something fun with Nessie. I mean, look at it. That's as Harryhausen as you can get. Oh, it gets funny too. But I just thought it was terrible. It was terrible. If you're gonna grab Nessie and do something fun with it, commit go whole hog. Don't go halvesies on this. So there's it. Christian, you're muted, darling.
Well, I like that. I think this is when the writing of Doctor Who was at some points was not up to the par of the budget of Doctor Who. Like, they would say, okay, let's do this. And then like, well, how do you pull this off? How are we going to have the Loch Ness Monster, which actually makes a second appearance in Time Lash? Go figure. They're explaining we have like, what, 3 explanations for the Loch Ness Monster now in Doctor? So go figure on continuity.
Sure.
And they probably all end up in the same lake.
They're probably all in Loch Ness.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just the oil rigs missing. It's like, okay, well, let's see where this goes, and then bleh. So to me, it's the best of the worst. You have one of the great idea, and just decided I ain't gonna execute on this. Everything else about Terror of the Zygons is absolutely amazing, and it's Harry's last episode, and it's Harry, but it just that one piece was like, really, this is.
Would you want to see, for a better term, Nessie return if they brought it back? Let's say the Zygons brought this thing back and they found a good story for it. Do you think Nessie should make a return, or we're like, no?
I think there's no way that they could bring it back. To me, it's already been used. It is what it is in canon, that kind of fun thing. But if you're going to go after another cryptid, if you're going to do Mothman, if you're going to do something else, make it your marquee kind of thing and not some afterthought. To me, the way that they used the Scarison Loch Ness Monster was like how the egg, the moon was an egg, and suddenly there's a thing coming out of it, and we've got it again. I mean, that's to me the level of where it was, and that's why I'm saying this is the best of the worst.
And it never made sense to me. It's just like, okay, so how do we explain everything that comes through with that egg theory now, including something in an episode called the Moon Base? How does this all work out? How does egg base?
I mean, Andrew Morris even said Loch Ness should have been a Sea Devil episode.
Sounds like a Cuisinart.
Makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I get that it was the first time we saw the Zygons.
Yeah.
So not knowing exactly what they were, but yeah, I just no.
Bring it back for Worlds Apart.
Yes.
Loch Ness should have been a sea. What would his Archon be? It's like, how much damage could he do? Zygons are milk drinkers. They drink the lactic fluid secreted by the monster, the Scarison.
That again, make it pop out of the moon and call it an egg. I mean, that's where you are here.
We just got to forget that. Andrew Morris says, "Yeah, 70s with less budget than One Planet of the Apes suit."
Oh yeah. No. But even then, they were really smart about it, because if you think about that episode, the way the Zygon, the one that looks like Harry, and that he falls and kind of Sarah Jane's able to kind of kill him because he falls off the hay bales or whatever in the barn. But the way it died, I thought it was because it's a mask that's, it's a prosthetic here, but the way it died is like the actor just pulled his head back away from it and kind of like pulled himself out of that, and that was just ingenious for what you had. But yeah, again, that's Scarison / Loch Ness Monster. That's my best of the worst.
I just want to say, spoilers, I haven't seen this episode yet.
Oh my god, it was only how many years ago?
No. Remind me of that convention where the woman yelled at me for talking about survival. She goes, spoilers, I'm on that season. I'm like, that was 89. Really?
Honestly, I've seen very little of the Fourth Doctor, but that's the next one going backwards in my list is 4. So in the foreseeable future, I'll be starting 4 again, or period.
There you go. Mark Robinson. Andrew, can you imagine if the Candyman was made out of USA candy moon pie as a head, cowtails as the arm, gummy bears as a feet, candy corn as the body? I would like to see what they would do now and what candies they would use. There you go. There's your product placement.
Was it Circuits candy too? It was the whole thing. All of it, head to tail, was candy. Weird.
And Mark did send us the legal issues, and apparently there was another Candyman.
Oh.
Yep.
So Mr. Sweetie was apparently this brand's mascot.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Oh,
so I can see where Bassett's
appreciate that information. Thank you.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Candyman has answered the question about the Candyman. Shocking.
Got it. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I spun the wheel, and the next person up for bids is the hashtag guru himself, Tom Kosak. Tom, who'd you pick? Which monster didn't make the cut?
To me, well, there goes a live feed on Instagram. For me, it was the Toclophane.
And why'd you pick the Toclophane?
Well, the worst part is it reminds me it's basically a reboot of the Cybermen. They're so distraught. They head to Utopia, find out things are so horrendous. They cannibalize themselves. They said they're the ones that turn themselves into cyborgs, which, woof. Yeah, cyborgs.
Keep talking, Tom. I'll be right back.
From Luca. Luca. Because I keep reading it, all the wikis said basically the same thing, but they cannibalize themselves, try to make themselves children-like, made themselves into Toclophane, and then the master comes in. Like, no, it's more like I see the master made them because we jump ahead to the master making the new Cybermondasians. So I see this as, again, a reboot of the Cybermondasians. We jump forward a little bit further, and the bad word that Dave said earlier, Chibnall, the flying Cybermen heads. So it's like a reboot of the reboot. I mean, yes, it works. The story works, everything, but it always in the back of my mind, like, well, don't you have any original ideas? Because you're just making a Cyberman head. And then Chibnall goes, well, let's use a Cyberman head.
At least that one, was a natural progression. I hadn't thought about that before. Toclophane are essentially Cybermen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep last night. I kept thinking, or the other night, saying, well, if I'm on the show, what would I say?
Christian, you're talking and you're muted, buddy.
Isn't it spectacular?
He
was making a segue. It's okay.
I had to because, she Semler gave her answer, and it was the same answer that everybody else picked. But so she wanted to give an answer there. So who's not to say, genetics and robotics and go into a different direction. So the Toclophane could be one direction, the Cybermen could be another. And apparently the master has this big thing with the Cybermen.
Mm-hmm.
So who's not to say that that's where he got the idea from? Which I'm like, it was a history of the Time Lords. The Toclophane was supposed to be a kid's story or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. When he was talking about in the Sound of Drums, and I said, whoever the next master is, just stay away from the Cybermen. Let me just say that it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, they just keep hitting that well.
And
Summer has some lungs on her.
I know she does. Well, apparently our roommate's in the room, in the other room. So unfortunately,
commercial.
Great protector. Yes, if you could do me a favor, which I think is, I'm stuck.
Yeah, you are. We don't see you. I can hear you, but you're just smiling just pleasantly that way. You're just looking handsome over at everybody. Just happy, looking over at it.
Shining happy people holding.
Or against
happy people holding hands.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, you moved.
Oh no.
Oh, that's even worse.
It's getting.
We're getting rid of the wheel. Wheel's going bye-bye.
Got rid of the wheel. Just randomly. You still haven't gotten rid of the wheel. No, now he's stuck.
Yeah.
He's very stuck.
Okay, so maybe we should attempt going to a commercial.
Yeah.
Now we can't even hear him.
Go ahead, run the commercial.
I have no idea which.
Go ahead, run the commercials. I'm stuck. Hopefully, I'll be unstuck by the commercial.
Me or Dave? Dave, you want to run them or you want me to?
Oh, you can go ahead. I screwed it up last time.
Goody. Okay, so we're gonna go to commercial. Let's see what happens. I'm just gonna start clicking buttons randomly, and we'll see what happens.
I think we picked up at Binge Watchers. I think is the next one in line.
Okay, let me find where those are. Oh my! How many do we have now? All right, and when we return, thanks for watching The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Commercial time. And let's pick another one. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jamie Engel, critically acclaimed author of The Toilet Papers, Places to Go While You Go. A short story collection suited to match your bathroom needs. Only have to go a little? No problem. I've got stories under 1,000 words for you. Far from poopin'? I've got you covered. With stories over 5,000 words to keep you occupied, while your latrine stays occupied. And that's not all. The Toilet Papers is endorsed by the fine folks from Squatty Potty, the stool for better stools. But don't take my word for it. See what Dookie the Squatty Potty unicorn has to say on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. Well, I've got to go, but you can grab your copy of The Toilet Papers on Amazon in ebook or print, or get an autographed copy from me at therightangle.com. And don't worry, I promise I'll wash my hands first. The Toilet Papers. You might just stay in the bathroom longer than you need to.
I can't believe I shut down the wheel and everything runs smoother now. Just really
weird,
bad.
right?
Oh, poor wheel. Gosh. Well, I did spin the wheel and before it died.
Yeah.
So without further ado, the next item up for bids is KEVO RISSE. There we go.
Hey.
KEVO, what did you pick? Who should make the cut? Who should be cut? What was the monster you picked that should go bye-bye?
There are so many fantastic choices. A lot of the answers that have been given so far are great. The choice that I ultimately made was the Slovene. You know, I want to root
always a good one
for these. They were the first major recurring new alien that Russell T Davies introduced to the show when he brought it back. And it's very clear that in his attempt to bring the show into the new century, he was trying to find the balance between what works for kids, what works for adults, and he was leaning into that 1990s Nickelodeon fart humor.
Mm-hmm.
And that really got obnoxious, the whole fat people farting thing. You know, Russell T Davies himself is a very large man, so I'm not accusing him of being any kind of fat phobic himself, but it's gross out humor, and not a huge fan of that. I think with him coming back, he could probably do a lot more with the Slovene now that there's more budget. You know, they were described as being a hunter race, and we saw like once or twice them doing like a whole chase thing. Those guys could be terrifying,
right?
But they've mostly just been fart jokes, and I think if they were revamped with today's, you know, CG standards, they could be something really cool. But as they've stood so far, though, they're like, ugh, they're a miss for me. I think the Ood are a much better recurring alien for Russell T Davies to be known by than the Slovene.
Now, I got a question for you, Kevin, and I'm going to actually ask Melanie as well because she's a big fan of Margaret Blaine. And I'm trying to think of the actress. Annette Badland. What did you think of Boomtown? Did that make any redemption for you, or do you think that was more Annette than it was?
Yeah, and the writing, but that episode is a misfire for me, mostly just because they were still finding their legs, and there was a lot of stuff in it that was like, again, like fart jokes and silly. Like you're in the middle of this dramatic scene, and then she's shooting poison darts, and I don't think that the direction, the cinematography had the right balance. I think an episode like that is also something that would be done so much better. Because the writing was there, her performance was there. She was amazing. I would love to see her come back and helm a revival of the Slovene as a real threat again, as opposed to sort of the joke alien they became. They were relegated to only appearances on Sarah Jane Adventures because they were a little kid alien. Yeah.
I thought there was always something about the Slovene that they were kind of, when you got to like the John Nathan Turner seasons, it started to get even more campier. And I thought that's what the Slovene were kind of representing, the campiness of like classic Who kind of brought into new Who. Where you did have like serious stuff, but you couldn't help get out of the campiness, like Spearheads in Space with the first of the Autons, when we finally see them. You know, they're shop window dummies, and they're coming alive. You know, if you really think about it, the dummies that they brought up, like, doesn't really look like menacing or anything like that. Today, with CGI and new stuff and revisioned, I could see the Savine being what they were supposed to be, this monster terror, but I think he also kind of toned it down with the farting, with I can kill you with with my little finger right here. I think that's what he was trying to do, was to kind of mix the campiness with the threat, because as I've said about Doctor Who's episodes, one moment you're crying because you're laughing your butt off, the next moment you're crying because something really sad it is, and you got to do that dynamic in the same episode, which makes really good Doctor Who. And I think Boomtown is a very big testament to Annette and Christopher Eccleston. That scene where they're at the dinner. I mean, you kind of forget that she's a Slovene, and you're really watching those two play off of each other, and just, the scene where she's in the bathroom because I forgot what was
the reporter, the pregnant woman.
Yep.
So those things
go because she smiled. That's all. And
right.
Yeah, there's so much there in the writing and the acting. 100%.
So I think that was more of a testament to Annette bringing that thing in, and we kind of forgot that she was this fart monster. I think they even took that out. It was basically she had like these new skills, and now she's an egg at the end of the episode. So, and I think I might have asked this a question. I might have gotten, KEVO, would you want to see them come back in the new series? If they send it up with Shooty's episode, would you want to see them come back?
100%, especially with Annette coming back. If she were to, we'd love it. We're announcing right here that Annette is coming back.
Yay!
This podcast. If it happens, though, we get credit. There you go.
She's doing a lot of swimming 100%. For diabetes, so very proud of her. She's really focused on that, so I'm very, very proud of her. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of being awesome, I didn't spin the wheel. I'm just going to push a button. Mackenzie, you're up.
I like being awesome, though. That's nice.
There you go.
Yay.
I will talk about, though, a monster that wasn't awesome. And actually, Ramona had already mentioned it in chat, which is the Sandmen. They were it was from one of my least favorite episodes called Sleep No More, which was a Peter Capaldi episode. I actually, for me, Sleep No More runs right up there with Orphan 55. I mean, I hate both those episodes, but the Sandmen were gross.
This was a monster that had so much potential, with an episode that was such a brilliant concept. Thank you. Yep. And it just bombed. It just really bombed all its face.
It totally did. Yes. And it had a really cool idea where taking that sleep that's in our eyes, sleep dust is sometimes people call it, or dustmen. I like that. But then the whole rest of it just kind of fell flat.
But here's the funny part. This scene actually gives me nightmares.
Yeah.
That whole moment gave me nightmares.
That part was actually good. That was probably the only part of the episode.
You could have just made that a YouTube short, and that would have scared the hell out of me. I'm just like, wow, what the heck?
And hugely his performance, not even just the CG, but the CG, they really did an amazing job of the way the sand clumps, and it's so visceral.
Yeah.
And that is probably one of the best scenes, I think, in Doctor Who. Just that moment when he's talking to the audience, and oh, look, you got something in your eye, and I'm standing there, I'm touching my face, man. Jeez, that was just. So how did you go from here to here? So
exactly, it's like there was a good idea, it just wasn't executed fully out. I mean, maybe that was kind of the idea with the Slorine, whereas Slorine that it didn't really have it had a good concept, it just wasn't very well executed until Annette's character came back later on. Then that was more fully developed, whereas the Sleep No Man seemed kind of like Sandman was kind of like an idea about explaining from a sci-fi perspective or a Doctor Who perspective of why we get sleep in our eyes, but
it was going to get a sequel.
It's an episode I would rather not remember it ever existing.
It was just, I love the idea that they were going to Blair Witch it, which was going to be this one single camera. And I love the idea that everything was from that perspective. And then all of a sudden, every speck of dust became a camera. I'm like, wow, how could you just MacGuffin the whole episode? It was just awful. I love the perspective that we could see everything from it. And you would hear like a shout in the background and wonder if it was Claire, if somebody was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe the monster picked up the camera. Or the doctor, puts the camera to his face and you get the attack brows or something like that. I mean, just some cool stuff. And it just, I don't even remember the episode when you mentioned the Sandman. I was asking, where is that from? You said Sleep No More. I'm just like, I don't even remember that episode. I tried so hard. And
Watch No More.
Right. And what was it? Capaldi said the best line is like, none of this makes sense. None of any of this makes sense. And I was like, just to find the whole episode. And I felt bad because it was Mark Gatiss who wrote that episode.
And I consider Mark a very good writer, so I don't know what went wrong there.
So would you do you think the Sandman could have a reprise? Do you think they could come back in a different episode? Do you think they just trashed it so badly in that episode? Yeah.
No,
because I want to see this again. I want to see things like this again. It was what
going to potentially get a sequel in series 10. Mark Gatiss considered doing a sequel instead of Empress of Mars, and he went with that instead, which was good. So maybe it's better that he didn't try.
I'm getting bummed out about these.
Well, some of them I think there's a possibility bringing them back because it's been a good while. I mean, if you think about like these Zygons, it took a while for them to come back. So maybe.
It'll have been like 8 or 9 years by the time the show comes back since these aliens. Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Out of all of these, who would you want to come back out of the ones we just named? Who would you want to make? Candyman, the Slovene, the Sandman, Nessie, or the Toclafane? Who would make a comeback?
That's a tough one for me because I really loved the Candyman. I just like, for me, I love that. He's
got potential. He's really got potential.
Yeah, it's like I kind of I think what I liked about it, it was like, it reminded me, what if you could be in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and you have this Candyman character running after everybody and it turned into some horror flick.
Packing up Oompa Loompas. Speaking of which,
Alien Wonka, that'd be great.
Speaking of which, if you want this to be a complete side note, we want to. I forgot the last couple of weeks some birthdays, so we're going to catch up. So for those, if there is a friend of the Traveling TARDIS who gets a picture with it, we bring them on, even though they've not been in Doctor Who. So last month, at the end of last month, we want to wish happy birthday to Henry Winkler.
Yay!
Which is a very popular picture. Everybody. He actually, I think there was what they were having a technical issue in line.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually just, as they were trying to sort out things, he actually came out from out the booth and he just started talking to us.
Oh, wow.
He was just like, they're fixing things back there in the meantime. And then he just grabbed the TARDIS and took it. I don't know if he knows anything about Doctor Who, but I love that he took the picture out there. Speaking of which, Mackenzie, you want to talk Oompa Loompas? Rusty Goth also celebrated a birthday the end of last month. For those of you who may not be familiar with Rusty Goth, he was Little John in the Robots of Sherwood. He was very short-lived, very short-lived in the episode. I think he said like maybe one line. Either he said one line or he didn't say anything at all. But he's best known for being in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, from Gene Wilder's ride. He was one of the Oompa Loompas back then, and without a doubt, even though she's an angel in her own right, want to say happy birthday to Sarah Louise Madison, who was one of the premier Weeping Angels. And I got a picture with her in the TARDIS and told her, I said, no, do it like a Weeping Angel. She did that. So she came up with that. Mine is on Thursday. Happy birthday, Ramona.
Happy birthday, Ramona.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, when we return, we're going to talk about what I picked. And you probably already know already, but you know what? We got a commercial break. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, and become part of the legend.
You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show, hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With Web Show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With Web Show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
Join author Gary Zeiger for an animatic short film based on his breakaway Stingray novel series. Watch this animatic short based on the novel Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever at stingrayseries.com. In Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever, Captain Epsilon is putting the band back together to rescue his protege's little sister from the evil conglomerate, while keeping his state-of-the-art warship Stingray out of their hands. Watch as the adventure unfolds in the groundbreaking animatic short at stingrayseries.com. Then, join the crew of Stingray with the next novel in the series, Stingray Prophecy, where Captain Epsilon and Dr. Zubre are pivotal players in an ancient prophecy. Can they reunite the people of two worlds before they destroy each other? To learn more, visit stingrayseries.com.
Oh, that's weird. Where is it? I have one more. There we go.
Sweet dreams they placed on me inside my mind. Chance my truth, twist the past, my memories are fading fast. Am I still missed? Who do you want me to be? Am I still
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basel, and it's time for me to give my choice and my pick. Melanie? You okay? Uh-oh. I don't know if we lost
swatting.
Melanie now.
I don't see anyone new. We both been swatting bots, so I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. That's the thing. Although I can't even see to report the last set, but that's okay.
Uh-oh.
She may have
Melanie,
popped out.
uh-oh.
She had popped out of the feed because of the swatting of bots, so that might just be what's going on. Or nope, she's got a comment in our private chat if the commercial's going. So I think she just kind of the feed just kind of went on her.
Oh,
That's okay. She'll be back.
She'll be back. And let me go ahead and give my take before the end of the show here.
All right. Good night.
Shut it. Well, everybody, Melanie mentioned it. I'm surprised she didn't go with it, but yeah, it had to be him.
Yeah.
I thought that was what she was going to pick.
No, she did. She did pick it when we were chatting about who we might be picking, and then she went over and did Nessie. So yeah, of course he was going to make an appearance, and I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to give it to him because there were others, but I had to think of one that like I don't want this to come back.
Yeah,
there is absolutely no reason for him to come back, and just to be scaring his little posing pose or whatever the heck that, yeah, just makes it all just like what the heck is going on here.
Two things. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say the one thing I was just kind of, it's kind of disappointing is that
much more pleasant.
Oh my goodness. No, it's not actually. It looks like it's debatable. This was created by a child.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
always important to keep that in mind.
Right. It was created by a child, and I feel bad that child might think that they created the worst monster in Doctor Who, and
it's also not what they designed. It was supposed to be a giant monster.
Yeah, didn't they change
the size of a building? But they, it was expensive. It was 2006. That's part of why I think Russell is coming back, because now they don't have to say we can't make a building-sized alien. Sorry, child. It's going to be this hideous thing that people are going to make fun of for the next 16 years.
Yeah.
I feel bad. Not only that, but they put it with this story that was just very bizarre. It's just like, what?
And kind of grown up for a child's design.
Yeah.
Really?
And especially when he goes, and we have, somewhat of a love life. And I'm like,
yep.
No. Why? How is this even in this? How did you even put this together? And I think they found this one episode and they were trying to find a monster to it and they're trying to match it up. And
welcome back.
It just didn't. Hello, welcome back. So, I pick. I can't even pronounce the damn name. That's how bad it is. The Absorbaloft. Kroll. That one was pretty bad. I liked. You know what? I kind of liked the Kroll one. I think the Power of Kroll. I think that's what he's referring to, which was in the Key to Time. Don't have a picture of it, but it was supposed to be this huge, like Goliath, like Cthulhu monster that was sitting out there that was supposed to be damaging a rig or something like that. And there was something about Tom Baker in it that was so funny. I know what he's talking about. It's the Power of Kroll. Kroll is all seeing, all knowing, and the Fourth Doctor goes all baloney. It's just like, that was just a weird name. And the fact that I think the line goes, Kroll can't tell the difference between you, me, and a pile of bird droppings. He was trying to insult the people that were worshiping this ginormous monster. And it's the same thing riding with Nessie over here. They had this like giant size model that was standing behind what appeared to be like I think it was an oil rig or station or something like that. I don't remember. I just remember certain segments of that episode. But yeah, Kroll was an interesting thing because Kroll was just this monster that was being worshipped by the locals, and that might be a monster to bring back. I would actually, if they were to bring in a monster, I would love to have Cthulhu be a monster. Let's bring in Cthulhu. The Terran Wood Beast. Where's that from, Ramona? Does anybody know? No? Okay.
I don't recall it. To the Google!
Aha! What the?
And Drew says, no more hydrodolics. Taste the rainbow.
Oh gosh, yes, like those piggies. Those piggies. I almost named that one, but I was like, no, the Sleep No More one had to win over that. But the piggies were right in there.
And the piggies were talking from Daleks in Manhattan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good grief.
I'd be happy with just no more Daleks for a while. Not forever, just
for a while.
For a while.
Yeah, I get you.
They're overdone.
Well,
I would have said the same thing for the Master.
It depends on the version of the Master.
Stop. No more Master. Just stop.
Yep,
find something else. Yeah, you Chibnall.
Well, it
was amazing, but
I was even going back to Moffat. I'm just like, you do know there's more than 3 Time Lords on Gallifrey.
I think we're going to get the Ronnie now. I think we will. I think it's going to be camp as hell, and I think every drag queen is going to want to dress as her because I think Russell T Davies thought he couldn't do it back then, and now he can. And I think we will see the Ronnie again. That would be my guess. Way before we see the Master.
I don't mind Ronnie.
Maybe even the Corsair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we will see other Time Lords like you want. I think we're going to stay away from the Master.
Yeah, I want to see Ramona back too. So I want to just like both of those. be back.
Well, again, we have all these stories of Time Lords, and they just disappeared. Drax, who was in the Key to Time, I would love to see him come back because he was the Time Lord sidekick and comedy. I think it was actually done by a comedian. Omega, he's still out there somewhere. You know, what does he think about the Time War? I know Rassilon we could take a break from. He's even regenerated. So we know he's out there. He's going to be doing more damage somewhere along the way. But Romana, how did she lose control of the planet? You know, where did that come from? Where is she doing now? The Ronnie, did she fight in the Time War? The Monk. I actually thought for a while Neil Patrick Harris was doing the Monk. But I think there's more to it. I think it is Celestial Toymaker. But he would do a great
It's definitely
Monk.
a Toymaker without a doubt.
I'm sure of it, but when we were still speculating and stuff, but even still, Neil could do a Monk, could do the Monk, the meddling Monk. He could.
Russell only wouldn't do it right after the Master. I think it would maybe be like next series or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we could. I think we will.
We just have. I mean, we have so many Time Lords, and unfortunately, they've been converted to Cybermen for some odd reason, and all killed off.
I'm sure some weren't, and there's refugees, and
I'm sure
maybe it's a fake Gallifrey or a clone Gallifrey. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
It's all good fun.
You just have like Russell T Davies, and it's going to be like a Mel Brooks. What was it? That scene from Men in Tights, where the villagers or houses are burning down, and Gallifrey had that same image with Gallifrey. And go, hey, Russell, no, we've lost our house twice. We don't need to do it again, for crying out loud. I'm going to do this, and then I'll discuss about. I'm right here. I'm going to go ahead and end our audio portion, and we're going to continue on, and I do want to talk about the Valyard. And you know what? I'll ask the team what they think about the Valyard making a return. But let me go ahead and end the audio portion right now. For those of you who are listening, thank you so much for joining us. You can catch us on iHeartRadio, Sci-Fi Radio, Odyssey, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Podbean. You can even hear my dog yelling at my roommate. That would be great out there. Special thanks to the Hanging with Web TV Media for providing our audio. Also, we're on TikTok. Oh, I just threw it out there. And join our massive growing audience of 63,000 Whovians, and they're growing. Melanie, I found out I think Facebook was doing a purge because our numbers were going down. And then they went.
Everyone's doing a purge.
I know, but it was just like okay,
it literally is the purge right now over on Twitter. It's weird.
I know
it was just anarchy. It's fun to watch.
Anarchy.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. That's how we get our algorithms up. Thank you to the people who gave us a thumbs up out there. Please, if you're on the YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe. We're closing in on 2,500. A lot of you came in to watch me and Mackenzie play for some odd reason, and we enjoyed it, and we had a great time. And also Dave, this past time, hopefully you'll be seeing more of that as we go along. You get to see your favorite Traveling TARDIS panelist go one-on-one to play this game as we get closer to opening day. But right now, go ahead, youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We're going into the after party, and you can probably hear my dog barking even some more. So stand by, folks. We'll be right back. And well, that's this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Oh my goodness, there. So the Valyard, I'll throw that question out there to you. Do you think the Valyard should come back, and how would you bring the Valyard back? How would you bring? How would you bring the Valyard back?
Well, for me, I've done what I would have done with Jodie's regeneration when going from Capaldi to Jodie. At that time, I was hoping that Capaldi, during that regeneration, that somehow something would go wrong with the regeneration, and then the Doctor would split into two. So you'd have the Valyard on one side, and then you would have the Doctor on the other, and somehow that they would have to come together again as one being. So that was what I would have done. That's what I still want to have done. And who knows, maybe 14 has something to do with the Valyard. Maybe that's why we have this timey-wimey thing going on.
The multiple lives out there. I know that in the last adventure of Colin Baker, which is the Big Finish audio, which is supposed to be his regeneration scene expanded. That and also included the story of the Valyard. He was supposed to completely take him out, but that really didn't resolve in the TV scene. The Valyard should be part of a long arc series. Andrew, I got a question, and I got a question for everybody in the chat. Should the Valyard come back? And I know that's a weird question, but I have friends who think he should stay an unexploded thing, just like the Timeless Children. But we've done it. We're done. We're not going back. We could probably teeter into it every now and then, but this is not something that we delve into. I've known people who say that. It's just out there.
It could be referenced because I mean, it is. It's
been
not like
referenced
he's
twice.
The last.
Yeah.
I mean, we can reference him again. I mean, he's not the last. He's just a later. Am I right?
Well, he's supposed to be, according to the Master, somewhere between your 12th and final incarnation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's just before the curator.
So he could be 13 to whatever, to 2 billionth or whatever,
And the Master lies too. Who knows what the Master was even saying? Who knows where the Valyard ultimately would fit?
Yeah.
But it's been 36 years. That's how old I am. That's a really long time ago.
Yeah.
It has not been referenced in the entire almost 20 years that the show has been back on the BBC. They've sort of hinted at things the way that we saw. What are those heads called again? The Morbius doctors or whatever.
Yeah.
We've seen that referenced before Timeless Child even. So we already had been hinting at things that we really weren't going to pluck too hard at. And I think, like you said, referencing it ever, I think that's fine. But I don't think there's any reason. I don't know that it necessarily fits in with who or what the Doctor is currently. And I don't know that it's necessarily organic to try and force that at this point.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was about to say he has been referenced twice throughout the series. The Great Intelligence when he lit the Great Intelligence off the name of the Doctor, the Storm, the Beast, the Valyard, and the one in the for a better term, the robot, the sleeky robot in Twice Upon a Time. She mentions the Force of the Chain, the Shadow of the Valyard. So
I love those
in there, but he's not in there,
which I think is kind of nice. It's almost like a lot of the Chibnall era, where I just want that not to kind of go away. Maybe reference things here and there, but leave those spaghettis, those loose strings, just loose. So maybe just let the Valyard just be one of those things we'll just kind of echo back and forth, and moving on.
I could see maybe and again, they'd have to find a way to fit it in, but a Doctor, whenever, regenerate into and use old footage / CGI of the original Valyard. So there is only one. It's not that the Valyard regenerates into another Valyard. So I could see something like that. Oh, whether it's an 8.5 kind of a series or a 2.5, I guess. Where does things fit in? Where did the Fugitive Doctor fit in? That kind of a conversation of here's some holes. And that could be what happens with the Valyard. And I think that would work just fine. But again, it would be a hard one to do. You would have to set up, is the Valyard more than one regeneration?
Watch the Ruth Doctor be the Valyard.
I could get.
Somebody made the argument that she is.
Yeah.
But because she was more violent and she was using a gun, even though she had the principles of the Doctor, if you really think about it. But she didn't use the gun, and she even warned the woman, "Don't fire it. You're going to regret it." And she made it go backwards.
Which
she's a doctor that we don't know. We don't know. She's a doctor. Don't know where she is on timeline. She herself decided to disappear. So let that be one of those kind of fan plot things where you're like, ooh, or fan theory kind of fun.
And there was a mini series, I think, of the Fugitive Doctor that went through Titan Comics, that I believe was actually supposed to be the canon story.
Yes. And they named her being, which I disagree with, but they named her as being the first, being before Hartnell, which I disagree with. I still am going to hold to my firm belief that it's between 2 and 3.
Is there a monster in Doctor Who we would like to see back that it just went away and then never made its return?
Oh, okay.
It did like a one run, but
or maybe felt like it was going to be bigger, and then
exactly.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of those. There's going to be a lot of those during this man's era.
I'm deleting that picture.
There's a lot during his era. I was just kind of like, whatever happened to?
Well, that's the thing. I don't
want Grace
know.
Frog back.
What's that?
I want the Grace Frog mirror dimension back.
Oh,
I liked it.
Oh,
it was fun.
I liked it, but I don't know what else he would do with that.
Yeah, that's not about that.
It's very singular.
I mean, there's nothing from his. The thing is,
the comic can explore it.
Is there really any monster that he created from his time that you would want to keep going with? And I can't.
Oh, the one with the teeth.
Tim Shaw.
Dude, I'm pulling your leg.
I know.
Come on, really?
Oh, I like that.
I'm a big fan of Azure and her. I can't think of her sidekick there.
Oh yeah, those creepy guys from
those
Flux.
two. I want to see back.
Yeah.
I would like to see more. I don't feel like their story was really ended the way it was. It was just kind of like, we don't know what else to do with them. So,
which ones? I'm sorry.
The creepy fashion models from Flux, the brother and sister who were like.
Yeah, okay.
Faces.
We could just had a whole story on them. I don't know why we had.
That's what I thought. I actually at one point had thought not Azure, but the other one I actually thought was like a pre-master. I really thought that, and that it was going to end up turning that way. And that's why it was like, oh yeah, we've danced through time, and you don't remember me, and blah 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 blah. Well, yeah, if you're a pre-master, of course, it would make sense.
There's some really good suggestions over here. Melanie, if you want to jump back to Ramona's, the presence like the Black Guardian, which was actually mentioned in one of the episodes. I can't remember, but they were mentioning the Immortals and the Guardians. The Black Guardian, the White Guardian were both in the 4th and the 5th Doctor, the key to time for the 4th Doctor, and it became a running arc with Turlough in the 5th Doctor's story, which actually there was some really good stuff like Enlightenment. I thought that was a really good story. It was executed weird, but I get it. And then I thought the ending where everything ended that was fine. The UX.
Oh, that one, Ramona.
The Mori.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's not kicking in there. But Andrew mentioned the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we could. I don't know how you would bring the Beast back. He went into a black hole.
Shooty, in a video I was just watching for Disney Plus, was just saying that is one of the aliens he wants to fight.
The Beast.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, ooh, deep cut, nice. Oh, I love this guy.
I would be good. I would be good with that. I just don't know how you would bring the Beast back from a black hole. Yeah, unless it happened before.
Exactly, timey-wimey.
Timey-wimey.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I feel like with the Swarm and whatchamacallit.
Yeah, I just feel like there's just something that was either bring them back onto TV or do like maybe a side show when having that combined with Ruth. So then you'd have the Fugitive Doctor with Swarm and Azure have their own spin-off series going on. Ooh. Or you do a spin-off with Azure and Swarm and Big Finish, one of the two. But I would more rather see them as doing it on TV.
Yeah, KEVO.
Yeah, KEVO.
I have a translation for Ramona's. The Ux and the Mori were her answering the question of Chibnall aliens that they would like to see again. The Ux were the people from the series 11 finale, those like immortal-y people that were hooked up to that machine.
Yes.
The Mori were the time gods from Flux, the people in the white robes.
Okay.
The people at that temple. Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking back to the Beast. You could always have Shooty come. Shooty could have fun with at least Shooty could revisit the Beast by being the doctor that put the Beast there in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, the Beast had to get trapped and put it there with 2 little vases. So.
And they referenced something very similar on Torchwood in the first series finale. They used, I think, literally the same exact CG model and had them fight an alien like that in the first series finale of Torchwood. So, like, it could be something from the same family, etc.
Tom, you're on the show, Rev.
I'm just watching.
It's easy when I do the chat anymore. It's like, you guys are talking. It's like,
you know what? He's hoping the
interrupting Christian is a learned skill.
Yes, you have to jump in.
Remember, Dave, what I told you about what I'm going to do.
He's helping the algorithm, so no worries about that. The Oaks and the were the 2 beings, the only 2 of a race, almost gods. They were used by Tim Shaw.
Yeah.
I didn't like Tim Shaw. I didn't like.
Yeah, I can see where having fun with the beings, of going a little bit more backstory with them.
Mel Russell T Davis is on the phone.
Sweet, pay attention. Or what about that one guy? The time dude from Rosa.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, my husband. Yes.
Whatever happened with him? I thought he was going to be like this major freaking player.
He could be. Russell would totally bring him back. He's gorgeous
too. As another one is worst monster, because I was just like, he was another one where I just like felt like he was there, and then there it goes. But I'm also going on the whole idea with the Valeyard again. If you don't actually physically bring the Valeyard back, what if you have a doctor in the future that has certain aspects, like with the Time Lord Victorious, where he or she kind of loses themselves and starts doing things that the doctor wouldn't do, and they're like, "What the heck is going on?" And there, it's the Valeyard, it kind of trying to slip through.
I would love it. You could probably have the Valeyard become a separate person, and it's leading up to like the doctor is being told by the Valeyard, "You're going to end up like me. I'm just letting you know. At the end of this season, you turn into me."
Ooh, and it's a trap to fulfill being turned into their own person. I like that.
Yep. So the Valeyard is inadvertently created by the doctor. So the what is it? The shoestrap paradox? Was it?
Bootstrap
paradox.
The only one who could trust you, Doctor, was yourself.
Right. Well, I've always said that. I always said as a in characterization, I always thought the master would be the only one to take him or herself out, as I would say, and I was right. So that I would
still
think
right, always right.
Yes, Christian, you got it. Thank you. So I don't know. I had more, and I can't think of anything at the moment.
Yeah.
Ramona, paying attention to the Ood homeworld, may have seen the evolution of their planet. The final form of the Ood is the beast in the pit, impossible planet.
That'd be interesting.
That'll be interesting.
What do you think? Before they became this little thing with the balls to talk and just, before they became such a subservient kind of dependent race.
Was there a bad monster that Russell T Davies did besides the Slovene? I kind of like the Slovene, but let's just say, is there a monster that Russell T Davies did during his time that you think he could probably bring back and refit in the new series with Shooty? Like the gas, would you bring back the gas monsters from the Unquiet Dead?
Pity the Gelth.
What's that?
Pity the Gelth. That's what they're
Pity the Gelth. Pity the Gelth.
No, I would not bring them back to answer that question. But
you would not bring them?
Is there any would?
Something that happened in an enemy in Russell T Davies' time that he created that you would like to see him bring back. The Family of Blood?
Family of Blood, but just not them. I want another version of them.
Yeah.
I'd like to see another. I would love to see another version of them that weren't heartless evil monsters. Like to find out that you would think that, oh god, that they're going to try doing this, but then this time this race you're actually feeling bad for them. and that they want to, live their best lives for the last, 3 weeks that they have, that kind of thing. And here the doctor's trying to help them, have that kind of flipped on. No, not everybody, not every one of them is, heartless creatures that need to, or better yet, I mean, there's still, what was it? One's in the mirror. He didn't kill them all off.
Yeah, no. One could
so
break
you
out.
could go back right to the actual family of blood, because the doctor took the daughter, put her in a mirror. I'm trying to think all the different things he did.
The black hole.
Yeah. So
I think that more than aliens that I would like to see brought back, I would love to see like sequels sort of to a lot of things from the Russell T Davies era. Like that idea I think is really great. The idea of like one of the family of blood breaking out. It's been 15 years now, more than, since that episode aired. There's plenty of time that's passed. We could revisit stuff like that. And that's wild.
Ooh.
The worst, I think, villains as opposed to monsters in John Nathan Turner's time that I think were so underrated, and I think they would really do justice as they make a comeback, were the Bannermen and Delta and the Bannermen. They were just obnoxiously over the top bad. I mean, the whole episode was just bad. But I would love to see like the Bannermen come back, and they're more like a biker gang, almost Tron like evil type beings that take on the Doctor. I would also love to see. I always had this idea of Cthulhu being in the Doctor Who story, and we find out that Cthulhu is actually being jailed on Earth, and the Doctor takes pity in Cthulhu and just like, well, I'm going to set you free. And then the Doctor throughout the episode finds out why Cthulhu is being imprisoned on Earth. And the very last scene, when everything is said and done, you see this guy named Lovecraft in a boat going across the ocean, and then he's being manipulated by Cthulhu, and that's where he gets all those ideas for where he got that from. So that kind of influence. That's just me being weird.
That's weird.
Thanks.
That's the joy of the show. We can be weird.
I know. Yeah. Have some
And
fun.
bring on Edgar Allan Poe, because we did Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
There was a Family of Blood lockdown for Doctor Who. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't either. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I forgot. I think it was the guy who wrote the TV version of Family of Blood. I wasn't too crazy about the episode, but the 13th Doctor takes pity on, who is the sister in the mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sister of Mine.
Sister of
Yeah,
Mine.
Sister of Mine.
She takes pity on Sister of Mine and actually releases her from the mirror.
Oh, I thought that was Daughter of Mine.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The
Yeah.
little girl.
Just talking.
And the 13th Doctor breaks the mirror and lets her out. And I don't know why. I'm just like, it was okay, but I kind of thought it just took away from the whole family being locked up and being imprisoned the way that they did. And she took pity on the, Daughter of Mine, and broke her out of the mirror. And when Daughter of Mine is looking at her, I don't remember the episode. It's actually, I think it's on YouTube. You can find it. Daughter of Mine's going like, you really? You broke me out? You know I'm going to do some bad. And I think there was a line between them that just like the 13 was trying to give her a redemption arc.
Mackenzie, what do you got there?
That is the Doctor Who lockdown, at least for the whole published book of all the stories that we're part of.
Oh, wow.
Lockdown.
Dang.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing that on YouTube, and it's available.
Yeah, and it at the time, anytime that anybody bought it, it ended up going to Children's in Need, so it was like its own type of marketing, charity event. Yeah,
awesome,
love it,
very cool.
Well, does anybody have any last minute thoughts, or anybody in the chats want to just chime in before we go? We're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Best of the Monsters. I'm sure we'll have more as along the way, but we've got some holiday stuff coming up this time of year, and we're gonna have some fun up until the end of this year. Don't forget, Dave's taking over the next episode. He's going to be talking about Doctor Who games, and we're going to wrap up November on Tuesday with our Foodie Thanksgiving Day episode and just have some fun. And don't forget, tomorrow there's a good chance I'll be talking with Bob Pickering about the oncoming storm that's coming up and a little discussion about hurricanes in Florida as he does this while he's cosplaying the Doctor himself.
Mm-hmm.
So without further ado, I would love to see. Yes, you're right, Mark. I'm bringing that up. Yes, Mark. I would love to see Morgana or Squeal in Battlefield. I want to see Morgana. I want to see what there was that whole King Arthur Merlin thing going on out there, and they just kind of left it hanging. And yeah, it's one of those 100 things in Doctor Who that is a dangling participle, uncompleted thing. So yeah, I would go for Morgana out there. So anybody got any last minute tips or any little plugs before we end this episode?
I'll have a commercial that I got to record for, the next couple of weeks worth of show pretty soon, because I've got a cool giveaway that's going to be happening.
Oh,
and a really cool interview. Oh, there we go. Kringle Crisis, which is an adventure for the Parsley. If anyone remembers Zork, Oregon Trail, Wizardry, those text parser games, this is an analog version of it. And I've actually got the creator, Jared Sorensen, coming to run this. And it will be an interactive thing on December 7th. We'll have a short interview at 4 o'clock Mountain, 6 o'clock Eastern, followed by the game itself. And we will be taking prompts from the audience. So join us for that. And yeah, I'll have an actual proper commercial filmed for that, hopefully for next week.
All right. And to anybody else before we go?
I thought of one last terrible alien before we go.
Ooh, got it.
Those awful pyramid aliens from Series 10 with the 12th Doctor and Bill, those people that took over the world and they had those pyramids and they looked like corpses. Everything about that three-parter was terrible, and those aliens were terrible, and I hope we never see them again.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's sometimes we were having a hard time figuring this out because there are some monsters that we just didn't want coming back. It's just like not even try. What is that?
I wanted to show Mark
God.
A holiday bag of candy is here and how much candy we give away for Halloween.
Geez.
This is one of 4 bags that I had to give away. Although my husband took some of it.
Good assortment, though.
I got some cups left. But yeah, that's how much candy. That's how big.
That's a lot of candy.
Yeah, this is the leftover. So the leftovers again of 4 bags worth. So many people. Okay.
All right,
so yeah, Candyman.
Thank you for joining us this week. Don't forget to say goodbye on the way out because we'll post it up there. Don't forget, again, like, share, subscribe this episode, especially on our YouTube channel. Join us over there, youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We're closing into 2,500. 30 of you showed up. Somewhere between me, Mackenzie playing the game, and our Worlds Apart episode. You can join us at TikTok at The Traveling TARDIS, and as well as our Facebook page. We are climbing up to 65,000. And like I was mentioning, Melanie, the number went down, and then all of a sudden skyrocketed. We couldn't get out of 63,100, and now we're at 63,500. So I'm like, where the heck? Exactly. So everybody,
they enjoyed you losing in the last game.
Shush you. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, folks. We're going to go call tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. And please stay safe, take care of yourselves, and become part of the legend.